Every synagogue school teaches tefillah. I think we have to really be honest with ourselves as to why. Why are we teaching it? I think there's this other piece of, are we teaching things that are never being used? I mean, there's a reason why every parent wants their children to know the brachot for Hanukkah and the 4 questions for Pesach. There's a reason, because those are the things they're doing in their home. And the motivation for the child to learn them is high because they know they're going to go home and use those, or show up, quote unquote, show off and use their learning. So I think that we really have to think about why are we teaching what we're teaching, and we need the parents to be part of that conversation as well.
So I think one of the things that became evident is, particularly in thinking about what does camp allow that schools don't necessarily allow, is the physical space of where we teach something. So the idea came up in our working group about, where do we teach Hachnasat Orchim? Do we stand at the entrance to a synagogue? Do we stand at the entrance right before people come in for Kabbalat Shabbat services to teach the text about welcoming guests? And how does that differ today when synagogues have security guards at their front entrance rather than just a good smelling Shabbat dinner waiting for them? So how can we use physical space to teach in a different way? And also the challenge of, does doing that, is doing that enough? And what else do we have to do aside from just change the space to really make it an authentic experience?
2 things. One, knowing that that kid is going to go home and have a different experience than what we did with them in school, and how to prepare them best for that, or how to give them tools to do what we're teaching them in real time. And then the second piece would be recognizing, as a school community and also as experiential communities, looking at the child's life as a whole. Let's say we take it in 3 parts. One is formal education, 2 is this experiential type of education like camps or youth groups, after school programs, stuff like that, and then home life, and looking at each one as a sort of separate silo and evaluating what they offer and taking a look at what the other ones in relation to that can and cannot offer, and how to fill in the gaps, as opposed to I think that it's all relational. I don't think that we can look at any one on its own, and I think by looking at schools and what they do and what they're supposed to do, or what we in theory think that they do, and seeing where the communities can fill in the gaps or where home life can fill in the gaps, seeing education as a more holistic idea is going to be more appropriate and more relevant going forward.
Something that I think is very important is the design of the curriculum and allowing for the planning of an emergent curriculum. But how do you plan and create a powerful curriculum that also leaves space for student-driven questions or explorations within that? So something that I'm immediately going to do is take the materials and the ideas from this conference and work on the curriculum that I'm creating for my students. I teach 7th grade at my synagogue for the next year.